Oh. Do you know what? Cardboard boxes do not make good mouse mats. But evidently rack units do. Obviously. Yeah, the rack unit I've got makes a great mouse mat, but the cardboard box I've got on my setup table here is crap. It's absolutely awful. Oh, I got someone in. Hello. I can't see who it is, but I got someone in. No, I haven't. Oh, let's grab a beer. Right, that one person that's online, can you hear me clearly? Let me know. Drop a comment. Say something. It's the first time I've done this. I haven't got a clue what's going on. ARG Base 86, what's happening, my friend? You all right? Just cracking a cold one open. Because why not? Happy hump day, as it were. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pop-up chat over here on my other screen. Nice and big so I can see it. Like I said, this is the first time I've done this, my friend, and whoever else is here. Yeah, it's not bad. Helix racks are great. I mean, like, if you're going, you know, whether it be from the HX Stomp, Helix LT, or, you know, Line 6 Helix, you know, if you just want an all-in-one unit like this, you know, you can, you know, it's easy enough to do. But the rack is great. I've got the controller down here as well, which you can't see, with a Mission Engineering expression pedal. Really, really good. And I use that for acoustic, electric, and obviously bass. But I'm actually yet to gig this set. Well, oh, actually, no, I'm lying. I did do an acoustic duo gig in a garden party when everything was slightly lifted. Little bit naughty, I know, but me and the guitarist from my band, we done something for someone's birthday, all socially distanced, all good, all normal. So, and I did use it then, and pretty much just for a preamp, and to go into the PA instead of like our mixing desk and stuff, which I've got in a rack by here. So yeah, it's easier, you know, easier than carting everything about. Oh, see if we can get a few more people in, and I'll explain the madness that's about to ensue. But yeah, if you need any advice, my friend, on sort of building a rack, components to buy, anything like that, let me know. I'll be going through a bits and bobs with it on this live stream as well. I got a box here of stuff to build the Patchbay for the back, which we'll go through as well. You're using it as a preamp. Yeah, I mean, when I had the HX Stomp, I was in a 3-piece rock trio, and on top of everything else I was doing, and I turned the cabinet sim off on that, and I turned it to line level, and I put it into the effects loop of my Ampeg Portaflex 800 head. And I had the 210 and the 115 Portaflex cab, and I was just using it as a preamp, and then I had like different snapshots going through different amps for different sort of stuff. So sort of more like I used the acoustic model in it for some stuff. I used the Ampeg models in it, and I used the Aguila one in it as well. That was really, really cool. it was good just to have that control. Just put that in the preamp, into the power section of an amp, and you can switch between all those different bass amps, and it was really cool. You know, it worked really, really well. If you're having a watch, guys, make sure you drop something in the comments, say something, let me know you're here, give you a shout out. Ask anything you want, literally anything. It can be Helix related, it can be guitar related, rack related, it can be related to Star Trek. You know, you can ask questions about me, it's fine, I don't care. I've got all the time in the world to do what I need to do. But you know, the main purpose of this live stream, you know, is to do a bit of an Ask Me Anything, and then to build this this Patchbay that I've got all the parts for. So this will, no problem, my friend. So this video will obviously go on YouTube afterwards. I may edit it a little bit, sort of condensing anything to do with the Patchbay. But when I'm on about the Patchbay, let me tell you what I mean. So this is a full depth rack unit. Now, if I turn it around for you, for anyone who's interested, let me turn it the other way. Now, this isn't very sturdy. I've done the best job I can to get it in shot on my very high-tech webcam on my Apple Mac. So this is a full depth rack unit. The reason I went for a full depth one instead of a shallow one was because I wanted a rack draw for loads of, you know, pedals and stuff that I used, and I couldn't get a rack draw that was shallow, what would be classed as shallow. So the depth, you know, on this rack here is, you know, pretty much half of what it is on this. So half of what it is on this. So the Helix only comes up to about there, but the draw with the pedals goes all the way back because it has to. I couldn't source out a rack draw like this for my pedals that was shallow in depth. One of the other reasons that I had to go for this particular one is I also couldn't find a shallow rack. So how many U's is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I couldn't find a shallow 8U rack with wheels and a handle. Now, this has got a handle, right? And it's got wheels on the other side. So that's the other reason I went for one of these. Now, on the floor by here, what the rack used to be in is just a shallow case. So it was a lot easier to put the cables in and everything. And because obviously when the gigging starts back, the rack is going to be coming with me. It's not just going to live in my studio space. I'm going to be taking the rack. So I'm going to be unplugging a lot of cables and stuff. Now, because of the depth of this, just turn it around a bit again. As you can probably see, there's a fair old bit of depth there. Turn it in the light so you can see. You know, there's a fair old bit of depth there. So I want to be able to sort of find where I need to plug the cables and make, you know, do it quicker. You know, that's going to be a nightmare when it comes to live. It's going to be an absolute nightmare, sort of going on the floor, poking around, plugging this in, plugging that in. So I'm going to build a Patchbay for the back of this so I can connect everything a lot easier. The Patchbay will go on the top of the top strip of the rack in the back here. It's going to have an out for my wireless microphone. It's going to have an in for my wireless in-ears. It's going to have a single XLR out for the Helix rack. Would it be have a pedal board instead of the rack, or would it be cables galore? I'll get onto that now, Pete, right? What's happening, by the way, pal? So, yeah, so as I was saying, from the Helix, I don't use stereo in my in my live bass setup, I go mono. So I'm only going to have the one stereo out. Sorry, I'm only going to have the one output coming out of the Patchbay. Right, Daz? Yeah, so I'm only going to have the one out coming out of the Patchbay for the Helix. I'm going to have one for the USB, which I can just plug straight into my computer. I don't have to fiddle around right in the back there. I just plug it straight in the top. I'm going to have one for the Ethernet cable for my Helix controller. So, again, I don't have to go fiddling around in the back. It's there in the back. Click, done, boom, landed. Amazing. I'm going to have another one for the... I'm going to have another jack in the interface, or in the Patchbay, because what I do at the moment is this, right? Now, you probably can't see it, but here I've got an AB switcher. And I've got this as a bit of a fail-safe. Now, if my wireless, which is the Shure GLX system, GLX D16, if this goes down at any point, or I'm getting interference or anything, I have a cable at the side here and just grab and plug in. The only problem is if I do that, then I won't be able to use my Digitech drop. Now, it's not too much of an issue. I can do without it because I play a 5-string bass, but I like it there just so I can go click if I need to. So unless I use that AB switcher, if I just my wireless went down and I pulled this cable out here into the input, which is essentially just plugged into one of the outputs of the ABY, I'd lose the ability to use the drop. So here's what I've done. I've got the Shure GLX D16 going into this Donna ABY box, into one of the inputs. It's actually an output, but one of the inputs. I had a cable coming into a Patchbay, which I had built in the back here, which you can't see at the minute, but it's just a small little box Patchbay. Plug a cable into that, which is automatically plugged into that. So then I have a cable at the side of me, just in case. Click a button, boom, boom, on and off, and then I can still use my Digitech drop. That's the more complicated way of doing it, but I do it. So on to Peter. Would I be able to have a pedal board instead of the rack, or would it be cables galore? Now, yes. I used to have multiple pedals, pedal boards. I think at one point in my old flat, I had 3 large pedal boards. And they were good. They were great. But the only thing I found was I like having options. I like having different sounds at my disposal. So what I actually found with that particular setup was it wasn't... I like to tweak, right? I like to have different sounds for this. With those pedal boards, I had one overdrive, one distortion, one compressor, one delay, one chorus, and that was it. So I went to the pedal board version of this instead, which was just like a floorboard, loads of buttons, all the effects and amp sims under the sun. So that was fine. But I did still have, these actual pedals on a little pedal board beside it. But then I went to a smaller one with like a small version of this, which is called the HX Stomp. A couple of pedals, but again, there was, like you said, cables galore, the power cable and in and out, wireless failsafe, it was nuts. But then going to a setup like this, because I'm wireless, right? And I've got a wireless microphone as well. Now my setup for a gig would be this: mic stand, wireless microphone. My pedal board has got one cable coming out of it. So my setup, where I will be standing on stage, will have one cable, and that's the Ethernet cable connecting the controller to that. So, yeah, that's why I've gone for something like this instead of like a normal pedal board setup. I've got tons of pedals here. You know what I mean? I've got pedals coming out of my ass at the minute, stuff that I'm demoing. And I'm enjoying using them, so I could go to another pedal board, a normal pedal board, but for what I do and the different types of stuff that I do, something like this will works so much better. Thanks very much, Daz. I know there's only a couple of people on. I'll plug it again later. Check out Daz English's channel as well. He's a top dude. He's doing a bit of production stuff, put a few songs on there. I listened to Spin the Bottle earlier on, by the way. Loving it. Really loving it, Daz. Good work, my friend. Really good. He's on the vape. Cool. Yeah, so I'm going to get started on the Patchbay. So I've opened it up quick just to make sure everything was there, and there was one piece that isn't there, which is a pain, but I've got to come in tomorrow. So I contacted the companies, come in tomorrow. So all of this I have to source from like specialist audio companies, and I'll go through everything I've got here now, and I'll explain my plan for it. Also, guys, like I said, I know there's only a couple of us in, but literally it doesn't have to be pedal board related. It doesn't have to be guitar related. I know some of my friends are on here. Let's just have a chat. Let's have a hangout. I mean, I've got a beer as well, you know. I've got all the time in the world for this. So, onto this, right. Here's what I'm going to build it. This is a 19-inch rack strip with pre-drilled holes for what are called D-series connectors. And all that means is it's the type of connector you can put in and just punch in. Right? Got your rumpy. Nice. John Cage inspired. Not bad at all, my friend. Cool. So, there is my rack thing. Right? Lost my words there. I've only had one beer, mind. So, on top of that, what I've also got is I've got a connector here for the Ethernet cable. That will go in one of these. And what we'll actually do is we'll measure it all up as we're going along as well. I've got the USB connector there. I've got, now this is the one I need two of, but I've only got the one at the minute. This is literally just a jack to jack through, female to female through, right? And here I've got three. Look here. Here I've got three XLR connectors, right? And last but not least, I've got this, which is a sort of an IEC 13 to 14, IEC C13 to C14 extension. But what I've got is I've got one where I can actually drill a hole in this, big enough to put it in. I can screw it in. Obviously, we're not going to be doing that tonight because I'm not going to be able to do it, but it would essentially go, well, actually, no, it won't go, but it would essentially go there, and then that will go into my power conditioner on top, which will power everything. So, yeah, I've got a couple of bits and bobs here as well. Ooh. What else have I got? Guys, coming in, make sure you let me know who's here. A wave, say hello. Let's have a beer. I don't want anything to look out of place, right? So I've actually bought a blank. It's literally just a blank. It's just to fit over it, so there's no open holes or anything. So yeah, stupid, I know. So what I'll do is I'll pull everything out, check it all fits, and make sure that we're good to go, and we'll start the build. Now, I wasn't expecting like hundreds of people to jump on board for this, but I thought it'd be a nice change for me just to do it live, and I don't know, sort of just do it as I'm going along, really, because like so far all my YouTube videos have been somewhat pre-planned and everything. This is a bit more spur of the moment. I don't have to think about what I'm saying. I can just go bleh, blessing and a curse that can be. But yeah. And I mean, I think I'm going to start doing this. I think I'm going to find it quite therapeutic. So I've been having some crap since, well, through lockdown. You know, as a lot of people have. And if anyone follows me on social media, you know, they'd know I'm having a bit of a time. But I'm feeling good today. At a counselling session. So, but this is more like therapy session for me more than anything. You know, because I'm in the house on my own. And I'm just, you know, sitting on my computer, watching YouTube. I've started rewatching Stargate SG-1 on Netflix. I'm just, you know, recording videos. Nothing is spur of the moment. Everything's planned. So I just thought, you know what? Let's just do it. Bought some new pedals recently, Daz. I'll send you details if you want to use any for more demos. All guitar pedals, though, not bass, dude. Now then. If you follow my channel, Daz, I'm Darren, he's Daz, we just call it that, right? If you follow my channel, one of my goals is I'm a guitar player as well, we all know that, right? But as a bass player, I want to open it up a little bit in terms of, let's not just look for bass pedals. Let's take guitar pedals or stuff that's marketed for guitar and see what we can do with it. For example, let's say for the sake of arguments, what have I got here? This one, the Electro Harmonix Operation Overlord. It's an overdrive, you know. I haven't seen anything bass for it. And I used it in one of my bass demos I think it was either last week or the week before. What else have I got here? The Fender Full Moon Distortion. This is a fun one. Again, it's not marketed for bass. So bass players, when we're looking for, you know, when we're looking for pedals, let's use this one as an example, the Electro Harmonix Op-Amp Big Muff. We'd look for what we'd say is the bass version of it. So Electro Harmonix do these versions, the normal versions, which are marketed towards guitar. And then they'd say they've got the Big Muff bass or the bass Big Muff. Well, why can't we just use what we have? You know, use what's out there, use what you can get your hands on, and then I'm working out how we can use it as bass players. What else have I got here? So one of the demos I done a couple of days ago. This is the Electro Harmonix Micro Synth. Brilliant pedal. Don't get me wrong; it's really, really good. But in one of my Does It bass videos, which I think wasn't the last one. Actually, no, this may have been the last one I did. I tried making it work for bass. Now there is a bass version of this pedal. And I found out why there's a bass version of this pedal, because when I was playing with it, I found anything from about 400 to 500 hertz or below, it didn't like those frequencies, and it wasn't reacting the same way it was to the frequencies above that. So, for example, the higher I went up the bass, the more it picked everything up. But the low notes, especially on that low B and that low E, this wasn't picking it up. But that is why there's a bass version of it, because it's been modified to pick up those frequencies and work better with those frequencies, you know? So yeah, that's why, yeah, thank you. Octave pedals are brilliant. I love Octave pedals. I don't think I've got one here that I can recommend at the moment, but the ones I'd say, if you're just looking for a straight low octave, you can look at something like the Digitech Drop. The Electro Harmonix Pitchfork is brilliant. There's loads, man. There's loads. You're gonna buy one of them for your board. Nice. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, when I started playing with that synth that synth sound, that's where the demo track came from, because I thought this sounds quite EDM. Now, one of my friends, another Daz, Darren Thomas, I think he said it's got a bit of what did he say? A bit of an old, oh, I can't remember, like old Nine Inch Nails vibe, I think he said. Just because the way it was and the way that the synth was and stuff, but it was all bass. And he was like, well, you know, can get some good sounds out of it. But I had to play it up there because down there, the notes just did not sit. So if you're buying it for bass, Peter, I would get the bass version of it. I wouldn't get the normal version, the purple one. Get the black and green one, the actual bass version. Especially if you're using it for bass. If you're using it for guitar, doesn't matter. You can buy either. But the bass version, you know, will be better for bass because that one, the normal version, doesn't pick up the fundamental bass frequencies very well. So I had to use a little bit of EQ trick and signal splitting trickery on this to help get that low end going. So yeah, let me know how it goes with that. If you need any advice on any of the pedals as well, Daz English, let me know. We'll have a chat. You know, anyone who knows me, I will talk gear forever. You know, I think like most musicians, I've played loads. I've owned those. I've played loads. You know, I haven't owned more than like anyone else. I know one guy called Matthew Downer. We were on like a Zoom call last week or the week before. And my dear Lord, just looking in his studio and some of the stuff he's got. And we talk all the time, you know, like when a new pedal comes out, or I ask him a question about a pedal, he asks me a question about a pedal or a piece of gear. You know, he's very, very knowledgeable. He's more of a gear or pedal geek than I am, or effects junkie than I am. I've been doing everything, you know, for the last 2 years with a Helix. You know, yeah, if that's all right, Peter, I will. I'll demo the bass version instead. But anyway, just a quick one onto this. And so, as I was saying, here's the panel for the Patchbay on the back of the Helix rack. I will turn it around in a moment. But here's my plan for it, right? I haven't worked out where everything's going to go yet. We'll turn it around in a minute and we'll have a look. But all you basically do, right? Nice and simple. Pop it in there. And I got some screws here for it. Screws in, boom. That one goes there. Like this isn't going to be the order per se, but it's around about, you know, well, not even an estimate. It won't actually be like this, but this is how it'll be and how it'll all go in there. Oh no, it's not fitting. Yes, it is. Never mind. I wasn't doing it right. It happens. It happens. Cool. Yeah, so I've got one there reserved for another one of these bad boys, which is coming tomorrow. Because I obviously didn't do my maths correctly about how much I needed and what. And like I said about me not liking blanks, like I said, that is literally, if you go on my grey top, that is literally just a blank to go over there. Yeah, so essentially it's going to be like that, just a little bit straighter on. I don't know if you can see it there, but on the back of my Helix. Now I'm not going to pin it all down yet. Obviously, I'm going to turn the rack around, and I'll work out roughly, you know, where the positioning is and everything. Excuse me. Before I turn it around, what I'll do, just go through the different components of the rack, because I said I'd go through it as well. On the top here, I got pretty lights. Not bad, you know. No, but this is my power conditioner / power distributor. Now, it is a slightly cheaper one, so it doesn't condition the power as well, but I don't suffer from major buzz or any interference or anything like that. So this one does just fine. When we get back to gigging, we'll see where it goes, because a lot of venues can have a lot of, you know, dodgy power. So I might look to upgrade them. This is the Samson Power Bright Pro 10. The reason I went for this particular one, not only because it had lights, and I like things that look good and like show offy. It's also got a USB port on the back where you can put like a USB light into it or a USB cable for to charge your phone or anything like that. And I was intending to buy a USB light to go in the back of it, but I haven't bought a USB light to go in the back of it. Since lockdown, my rack has been sitting there. It hasn't moved apart from like that one outside thing I did. And I haven't really gone in and switched much out. I think since my rack has been sitting there, since I've had the rack, 2 cables have moved. And that is the effects loop cables that I use for my gear demos. That's the only thing that's changed. So yeah, it's the first time I've picked it up in months. It's just been sitting there. But yeah, so we'll go through the rest of this. So this is one power cable into this. And then I got a couple of different kettle leads coming out of it. I got one of the power cables powering my Chox DC7 power supply, which is behind here. You can't quite see it. That is powering a Shure GLX D16 wireless unit, a Donner ABY box, a Digitech The Drop, a Source Audio C4 synth, which I may do a little bit of a shootout against the Electro Harmonix microsynth. I might do. And then it's got my Disaster Area MIDI Ghost, which is a MIDI controller that converts the MIDI cable signal to USB, because this one is controlled by MIDI USB, and I can't control it via MIDI USB from the Helix rack. Then we've got the Helix rack. If you're here, you probably know what a Helix rack is if you're from the musical community. It's a Line 6 product. It does everything. Like, everything. I haven't found something that it can't do yet. And I've put it through its paces. The only thing it can't do is like a proper synthy sort of sound like I can get out of the Source Audio C4. It can do this sort of micro synth thing a little bit, but it does, it's the Source Audio C4 knocks it out of the park. What I got here? So here is my wireless microphone. It's a Sennheiser EW100 G1, so it's a first generation. This was gifted to me by my good friend Chris. He used it for years. He was the owner of the Mason's Arms in Schlechley, my local, and he always said, when I'm getting rid of it, you can have it. And I got it now. Cheers, matey. And my EW300 IM G1 Sennheiser wireless in-ears. So, and then these are the antenna. What I've done is I've routed everything from the back of these to the antenna. Now I can take the antenna off, all of them, which I will be doing for transport, because the cover of the rack has got like a little netting inside it, and I can just put anything in there, just for storage as I'm going along. Onto the back, so I may have to power it off for this one. Give me a sec. Boop. So there's the back of the rack. Very, very unsturdy at the moment. There you go. And just to shed a bit of light on the situation, hang on. I think that might be too bright. Is that too bright? Might be. I'll adjust that now. But give me a sec. So, if I change the color as well, that might help. No, it is what it is. But anyway, so the inside of the rack. So yeah, it's got a fair bit of depth in there, right? So that's why I'm building this. to go on the top, but there. So I don't have to worry about putting my hand, you know, in there or anything. I could put it at the bottom. You know, I could put it down there. I'm undecided on that yet, whether I want it at the bottom or at the top. I could have it in the middle and have it look really, really strange and weird. But you know, we'll see. We're not set on that yet. We don't know what we're doing with that yet. So, here are my ins and outs of the Line 6 Helix. This here is the cable for the controller, which is on the floor. It's just an Ethernet cable. What have we got here? There's the antenna cables. This is the XLR cable that comes out of my wireless microphone, which is actually a 1/4-inch jack output. But I've got a jack to XLR. Power, just general, you know, power, even though I got the power distributor at the top there. Out of one of the power distributor outputs, I've just got a 2-channel plug here to power my 2 wireless units. I did try powering them from the Chox DC7, my power supply for my pedals, but it wouldn't work. I can't remember if it was the voltage that I couldn't get out of it with a milliampage. I don't quite recall, and I think it's the fact that it needed center positive as opposed to center negative. So I thought, rather than piss about and get different cables or whatnot, I'd rather have these anyway to hand. So then if I do need to take it out or whatever, I've just got them there. You know, it's there, it's done. Boop, boop. Bob's your uncle. He's not my uncle, he's someone's uncle. But yeah, so it's not... Most people look at something like this, like a rack like this, and think, shit, that's complicated. It's not. As long as you know where everything's going and what you need to do. Oh, that's English subscribe. Thanks, matey. As long as you know where everything is going and what you want to do with it, it's easy. It's easy. The Line 6 Helix has got everything labeled on it anyway. I mean, if you want to go out, effects loop, controller, yeah, it's got all that on it. What else have we got in here? Just trust me, it's easy. Up until this, I'd never built a proper rack before. This is my first proper rack build. Before this, the rack I had an Ampeg SVT4 Pro, and it was a I think it was a DBX 160 rack compressor unit on, you know, in the rack with it all. Easy enough to do. Just put it in and wire it up. You can't go wrong. And I've done the same. This just popped it all in. I did have to mess about with where everything was though, in terms of which units go where. So I was intending on having the pedal drawer at the bottom, but I came across a bit of a hitch. For the handle on this, which is there, no, it goes back in. For the handle on this, there's rails in there, 2 of them, one there and one a bit further there. I couldn't fit the drawer in because the rails were in the way. The only thing in the entire rack that I was able to fit in that space was the antenna strip, because it was flat. It was, there's nothing going straight to the back or anything. So yeah, I had to I had to deal with it, and I had to change the order of everything, which was fine. I wanted the antennas on top, but it just didn't work like that. And some of the venues I play, they're not huge, they're not humongous, so I wouldn't need them at the top pointing in every direction. I just need line of sight sort of thing, or within close proximity, so it doesn't matter if they're at the bottom or not. So yes, that's that. But in terms of cabling this thing up and wiring it up, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick look where I would put you know, all of these, you know, in what position within it, because that's going to be quite important, because otherwise I'm going to have cables crisscrossing everywhere, and it's going to be a nightmare to keep track of. I have also got my little, where is it? My little Dymo label writer here as well. And I literally bought that specifically to label up pedal boards. That's the only reason I bought it, was to label up pedal boards. You know, it's had some use in the house here and there, but yeah, just pedal boards. That's it. Beginning and end of list. You know. So yes. So let's have a look where we're going to put everything in. Whoever's watching, let me know in the comments, right? Let me know in the comments where would make more sense to you and why. Would you put this strip here at the bottom, middle, top? Where would you put it and why? Because I'm still undecided. I mean, I'd probably put it on the top. Put it on the bottom wouldn't hurt. But if I did put it at the bottom, when I'm at home, it would make cabling it easier. But when I'm in a gig, I'm going to have to get down on all fours and cable it up. So the 6 people that are in, if you care at all, 5 people that are in, ta-da, let me know, where would you put it? If you were thinking logically, where would you put it? So like I said, when I'm at home and I'm cabling it up, it just stays there. It doesn't matter if I have it on the top or at the bottom. But when I'm out gigging and I'm playing, it's going to be a pain in the backside having it at the bottom, because I'm going to have to get down on all fours. Because in the band, the way it's going to work, and the way that we've designed everything is, well, the way that I've designed everything, because I've designed all the rack stuff and all the sound stuff for the band as well. Just for ease of use, to make it quick, get in, get out, no mucking about, anything like that. Because we used to have long cable runs, messy, but I've set it up now, so we just got racks, easier to plug in, looks tidier, blah 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 blah. It's more professional as well. But yeah, when I'm gigging, I'm gonna have to get down on all fours if I put it at the bottom, because this will be at the bottom. For, you know, at the top would be better for me. But what will make sense to you? Pete says, I say middle, as weird as it is. Okay, why? Is it because it's a happy medium? Why would you say middle? And while you're typing, I'm going to grab another beer, which I've got right here. I might have happier looking cables. Depends which cable you're looking at, to be honest with you. I always find that XLRs are quite happy looking cables. What do you think? Happier for cable placement. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. No, I can see why it would be better for cable placement, and I agree with you. I'll clean it up after. No, yeah, I can see, yeah, like little faces, yeah. But no, I can see why, you know, it would make sense to put it in the middle. Like, it's more of a happy medium, isn't it? So then I don't have to worry too much. But I don't know. I think I'm going to start measuring for the top. I don't know. I tell you what. I choose middle because you like it. Not going to argue with that. If you like it, you like it. So let's have a look. I tell you what I'll do. Let's do this. Hang on. So I've got drawers and drawers and drawers of shit down here. And in my drawer here, I should have, I say should have, a pack of rack screws. Should be in the Octave words. You wouldn't believe the junk I've got in here. But I'm pretty sure I'm not on my own there. I'm sure every person has got not a junk drawer, but just like Yeah, okay, a junk drawer, a drawer of literal junk. But this is all my pedal board build stuff. I got build your own cable. I've got Velcro. I've got connectors. I've got soldering irons. I got loads of the stuff there. You think I can find the one piece I want right now? That would be a no. No, I cannot. There they are, landed. Cool. Right. So, they're my rack screws. I knew they were in there. I knew it. It's a man's bits drawer. Cables, strings, tweed. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 drawers there. I've got a drawer over there. I've got, you wouldn't believe the junk I've got there. I've got an entire wall of speakers, boxes full of cables, cardboard boxes for all the products that I own. What else have I got? I got an Xbox 360 Slim that doesn't work. I've got a guitar stand. I got 4 big boxes of CDs. So yeah, I've got, it's junk everywhere. Like, my office is essentially the man cave. You know, the whole house is my bloody man cave, but I spend most of my time in this room, you know, whether it be for my day job, do my YouTube videos, recording music, just general pissing about, you know. Sorry for not keeping this PG for you guys. I'll swear all I want. I'm in a house all on my own. Sounds like Aladdin's cave. I'm actually jealous. Oh, mate, do you know what? Don't be. Trying to find anything in this room. And it's my own fault because I just keep accumulating stuff. as much as I try stopping, I just keep getting stuff. But a lot of it is like left over from the band because we're not gigging. There was nowhere really safe we could store it. So my house sort of became the storage unit for the band, as it were, you know. Commitment to that, is see. Showing them that I love them, but letting them leave all their junk in mine. No, it's our junk. So I don't know. I'm feeling there. Let me know your thoughts, all 3 of you. But this is what I'm feeling it. Up here. Or there. It would make sense to have it there, thinking about it. The only place, I don't care how it looks. No one's going to see this side of it. Only I am. I'm going to see this side when I'm cabling it up for gigs. The audience aren't going to see this. The audience is going to see this side with all the pretty lights and flashing stuff and, you know. I've just realized I can't actually put this at the bottom. Now, I don't know if you can see on the light there, because I know the light is shining on it a little bit, but this is all crooked, and I wouldn't want to put anything there. It's all crooked. I mean, I could do it in the middle, but from there down on this side, it's fine on this side, but from there down, it's quite crooked. So, Do you know? Sorry, guys. It's going up top. Sorry. It's going up top. Okay. So now is what I need to do. And like I said, guys, you can ask me absolutely anything. It doesn't have to be music related. You can ask me what brand of toilet tissue I use if you want. Like I said, not only is this for the build, I'm doing this as a form of therapy. I don't care how many people are on, but, you know, at the moment, having someone to talk to, even talking to myself, I talk to customers in work all day, but just having someone to talk to is, you know, it's brilliant, you know. And I'm talking to myself for the most part. That's a funny thing. You know, if I was sitting in my front room just talking to myself, people would think I'm nuts. So at least now people don't think I'm nuts if the neighbours can hear me next door. Right, so now I need to work out where each of these is going to go. Ooh. Well, considering I haven't got any hair, I'm going to say spaghetti for hair because at least I can comb it. You know, albeit with like a spaghetti spatula, but, you know, I can use olive oil instead of grease. You know, and if I've got long hair and I get hungry, bit of a munch. That answer your question? And if you had crisps for feet, mate, I weigh nearly 20 stone, right? And I'd never go hungry exactly. You won't see me put a foot in my mouth, right? But if I had crisps for feet, I weigh 20 stone. If those crisps were Monster Munch, let's say for the sake of arguments, I would have no feet anyway. They would implode under my weight. They would crush into a fine maize snack dust. Mind you, if you've got a girl who's got a foot fetish, you know, it wouldn't taste like toes. It would taste like pickled onion Monster Munch. Actually, I don't know which one's worse. Let's not go there. Right, so first things first. On this side, what have we got? What do I need? This side, I need one of these. Actually, to be honest with you, this and this, so both these are going to be jacks. And I'll tell you why. I see. I'm a weird thinker, Pete. I'm a weird thinker. We all know I'm a bit screwed up. It's fine. So, in terms of the build, this here, the jack to jack thing, is I'm gonna have to put one there, and I'm gonna have to put one there, and I'll tell you why. So, do you know what I was saying about my wireless? If you haven't, it's fine. I've got a wireless system Failsafe where it's an AB switcher with the wireless going in and a guitar cable going in as well. So I've got a guitar cable just by the rack in case I ever need it. Now, that is going to be on this side because that's where the switch is. The switch is on this side. So, logically speaking, if the switch is on this side, I'd put the cable on this side. But at the same time, my wireless in-ear system is also on this side, which is again jack. So, two of these, one there, and one there. See? So, I am going to lock that down. Now that we've decided that that's where that's going to be. So you're still playing, you, Pete? I hope so. Me and Peter Harris have been in a band together back when I was slimmer and not as hairy, and I had a full head of hair. As a matter of fact, I've actually got some hard copies of photos that we had when it was me, you, Mark, and Warren, and we were all posing in the garden in Warren's house. That was that was funny. That was good times, man. We used to play in the Jolly Tar in Carmarthen on the regular. Yeah, you know, when we were young. When we were young, aye. What happened, Pete? We got old, mate. I mean, we got old. It happens, doesn't it? People get old. I mean, I'm getting older and wider, but not any taller. It's not far off a Bowling for Soup lyric, that. Yeah, we got old. We grew up, mate. That's what it is. We grew up. Didn't we? We grew up. Not that it's a bad thing, right? I mean, I got kids. You know, it's all good. But we still got old. I don't feel young anymore. Mind you, I still play with toys. These sort of toys. Yeah. Now, there's one thing. Still thinking Peter Pan. I was watching Hook with my daughter the other day, and I thought, you know what? I feel like him. Just like someone who forgot who they were, you know? God, that's a depressing notion. Let's not go there. Let's stop. So, the one thing I didn't anticipate with doing all this is not only am I a bass player, predominantly right now, meaning my hands are a little bit large. Well, truth be told, my hands are large anyway, but they're a little bit too big. Oh, shit. Sorry, language. They're a little bit too big to quite fit in here properly to screw the parts in. So I'm struggling here. So if any of you have got nice nimble little fingers, let me know and I'll come pick you up. You can sort. Well, no, I can't. I've had a drink now, but you know, I'll leave it for another night, and you can come and do it for me. Hell of a title of a song. We got old. Yeah, we did. Not quite gracefully, mind, but we definitely got fucking old. So who have we actually got in then? I've seen the numbers go up to as much as 8. Who's actually here? We know Pete is here. I'm not sure if Mr. Darren English is still here. But who have we got? Make yourselves known. Why is it, right? Every time so far I've said, let me know if you're in, who you are. The number of people drop. Like I said, I wasn't expecting, I'm a nobody. Right? I'm an absolute nobody in terms of this whole YouTube gear live streaming thing. I mean, locally, I talk to a lot of people and stuff, and I gassed stuff. I think that's just because everyone knows me. That I know enough that I can maybe help them. But in terms of being on YouTube and doing a live stream, it was probably a little bit ambitious. But like I said, it's more of a documentation thing for me more than anything, as well as like the therapy side of it. So I'm not just talking to myself. I'm actually having conversations that aren't on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. Mr. Bridgeland, how are you, good sir? Thank you for joining us. You've joined me at a crucial moment where I've come to the realization that my fingers are too fat to fit. They're too fat to fit to do the screws on the inside. So yeah, I'm struggling with that at the minute, but we shall persevere. We shall persevere. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for sticking around as well. Oh, Christ, how much rum have you got? Or how much rum have you drunk that you're drunk enough to stick around for almost an hour? How are we, Wesley? Good to see you, my friend. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, do you know what? I was just thinking I could do with a magnet, but I haven't got one. I have got fat fingers and a couple of nuts and bolts. That's what I got. That's what I'm working with. Yeah, this is sort of failing miserably a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't mind so much if. Oh, hang on. Ah, look at that. Look at that. See, I worked it out in the end. I'm not sure. Will sellotape hold the screw and the nut in for me to be able to screw it? But then the other problem I've got is catch-22 is my fingers are too big to actually get the sellotape in. I've struggled with a pair of dolphin nose pliers. So that is numero uno. Nice, 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 nice. Funny enough, though, it's not quite straight. I mean, don't know if you can see it. It's slightly off. And I don't know why. Oh, also, like I said, this is my, like, apart from, do you know what, I'm going to keep the hat off. We know I'm bald. It's fine. Nice Spanish. What did I say? What did I say that was Spanish? You said Spanish and I've completely lost my train of thought. Brilliant. So, hold it tight. And there. Ah, numero uno. That's, yeah, Spanish, isn't it? Gracias, señor. Is that right? My surname is German. So Spanish is definitely not my strong point. I mean, I'm sure there are Germans that can speak Spanish. It's just I'm not one of them. But I'm glad I got that one right. Are you Spanish? Or can you just speak Spanish? If you are Spanish, let me know if you can actually understand everything I'm saying. Because I am the worst type of Welsh that you can imagine. I'm literally the worst type of Welsh. I am that Welsh. Bit of a funny story about that. Argentina, nice. Nice. Oh man, look at that. I'm bleeding. How am I bleeding? I've drawn blood. Now I can literally say my blood and sweat has gone into this rack build. And it's documented. It's on YouTube for all to see. That my blood and sweat has literally gone into this. If I ever sell it, I'll have to put in the I'll have to put in the description that it may contain traces of Welsh German DNA, that you may catch baldness. I'm glad you're following me, my friend. Thank you very much for sticking around. Okay, so first one in, nice and secure. To be honest with you, yeah, that is pretty damn secure. I've done an all right job on that. So, like I said, this slot here is going to be reserved for another one of these. Didn't get what you were saying didn't get what you was doing at first, but I see now, not tape. It was to hold the screw. You might get away with jamming a coin against the bolt and the side of the... That's not a bad shout, but I don't have any coins. I am cashless. I'm not skint, meaning I it's not that I'm broke or anything. I mean, I'm broke, but I'm not broke. I just don't have any coins. When I go shopping, I don't even have £1 to put in the trolley. So I don't bother. I walk around Aldi like that, holding everything. But yeah, so that one's going to be reserved for another one of the Jack-to-Jacks. So let's go across the rack here and see what else we have got. So I think for me, the next logical step is probably going to be this. I'm really homeless, and that's just a backdrop. Yeah. It is. Funny story. I'm missing the pub that much that for all my my work Google Hangout meetings that we do with the whole team, my backdrop is a pub with a man pouring a pint with a coronavirus mask on. It always gets a chuckle. So yeah, the next logical one is going to be this Ethernet, this Ethernet connector. Reason being is obviously I'm going to have the one jack cable going there, the other jack cable going down there, so they can be next to each other. The next thing along that I'm going to be connecting and disconnecting on the regular is the Helix control cable, which is just a Cat5 cable, an Ethernet cable. So it'll go in there, and I've got a spare Ethernet cable to come out of there and just go down to there. I've got a spare one. Happy days. It'll work. So that'll be next. And that will go in there. There it is. Cat5 landed. Brilliant. So yeah, progress. It's only been an hour and 10 minutes. You know, what have we spoken about? Effects pedals, whether I want spaghetti for hair or crisps for feet. Me talking to myself in the living room and my neighbours worrying if I'm going to be a mental case. Explained the Helix rack, my uses for it, the fact I'm 20 stone. Yeah, you haven't missed much. Do you know what? Hang on. Whoa! No, don't like it. You can see the inside better with the light off, which is a bit silly. But as I say, it is what it is. So I'm going to pop that one in there. And I'm going to pop that one in there. And, oh, actually, this one, because it's a smaller unit, it's not as deep. I can actually... Oh, actually, I spoke too soon. I was going to say I can actually screw it in a little bit. But my fingers are still too damn fat. So here we go. Just do it like this. See if I can just screw it on a little bit, and I'll let the screwdriver and the pliers then do the rest of the work. I'm also determined to get through all of these beers tonight. I got this little can here, and I got 4 cans there. I might get on to another can after that. I don't know, see how I feel. I got work in the morning, so it's a school night. But what else am I going to do? I mean, I could empty the dishwasher. But I'll do that after. I'll do that a little bit later on, say. Well, on the plus side, my finger has stopped bleeding. I'm squeezing this so tight, my hand is shaking. Like it's shaking my makeshift table. So you guys can't see it, but down here, actually, I will show you. So the way I got it set up, I got a little table here. I've opened the drawers out of my desk, and I got this guitar box, which is resting on the open drawers, and I've got my beer, my keyboard, my mouse, my phone, all the bits and bobs I need for the build. And in the case of Wesley Bridgeland, that's also my bed for the night. I just take it off, put it on the floor, wrap myself around it in the cardboard box, and then I go sleep in the shed. Because why not? I'm not actually going to go sleep in the shed. I mean, if I wanted the heat in there, I could put the tumble dryer on. So I could, but I'm not going to. Because that's just silly. I mean, to be honest here, once this live stream is actually finished, I need to put the office studio space back to the way it was, because I got me some work to do in the morning. I still have a day job, which I enjoy. I like my job. Like, it's the favorite job I think I've ever had. Basically, you've got everything you need except for the tools you actually need. Right, see, I've kind of got the tools I need. I'm the sort of guy that I will make do with what I've got to an extent. I've got a shed outside full of tools. I just didn't anticipate my fingers being too fat to put some nuts on. But yeah, I just didn't expect my fingers to not be able to screw a nut on. That's basically it. I'm doing all right as I am. Done. Cool. There is the Cat 5 unit installed. Brilliant. Let's have a sip of beer. Okay, so logically now would be well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get this one out of the way. On the far end here is the USB. So I'm actually going to put because excuse me, the USB component, if you can see it there, is important for me because I plug my Helix into the computer, sometimes to do reamping. So some of the demo tracks I do in my YouTube videos are pre-recorded. So I've recorded clean signals into Logic, and I reamp some of the sounds, not all of them. If I haven't got a track that can fit a certain sound, then I won't do that. I'll record it from scratch as I'm doing the demo and just edit it together. But I use the Helix for reamping then. So what I do is I come out of Logic via USB out into the Helix via the USB in. So I do like 5 and 6 USB in, and then 7 and 8 USB out to reamp. So it's taking a clean signal from Logic and putting it through a lot of pedals and stuff that I've programmed onto the Helix or the effects loop for one of my demo units and demo pedals. So that's why the USB is very important to have for me on here. One of the first things I looked for on this rack build, or on this particular build, was the USB connector. That was hard to find. I don't know why it was so hard to find, because like rack stuff like this for like server units and stuff like that, you'd assume they'd have them, but no, it was easier to get a Cat5 connector than it was this USB one. So yeah, nightmare, but it's there. I've got it. It's going in. Happy days. Do you know, I haven't actually thought if I can edit any of this live stream after I finished for whatever purpose. I've got an edit button here. What can I do? What's this edit button thing? Oh, I can just turn stuff on and off. No, I don't want to do any of that. Stuff that. Let's leave it all as it is. So my setup here, I got my main screen there, my iMac, and then next to it there, I've got a monitor. Actually, there's a thought. Which way am I coming here? Am I reversed? So that's my left. Am I pointing left from your perspective? Which that's left for me, that's right for me. I don't know if I'm reversed or anything. So let me know. Be interesting to know. Because the next live stream then, if it is like that, because I can't stand things like that, I'll get some software to do it in a different way. So the 4 people that are here, 5 people that are here, let me know if I'm like reversed or not. I wish I could see who was here so I could say hello. Oh, I can, actually. I've just had a thought. I got YouTube on my phone. Haven't I? I got YouTube on my phone, man. Oh, look at that. Landed. Oh, look at that. Landed. Hang on. There's an 8-second lag. There's an 8-second lag. 8 llethlys seconds or 8 global seconds? Good question. I'm going to say 8 global seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lee Fuge is in the room. If you don't know who Lee Fuge is, guitarist extraordinaire. If you like gear reviews and stuff like that, go and subscribe to Lee Fuge now, this second. I don't care if you've got to leave the live stream to do it. Go and subscribe to him and watch a couple of videos. He's a hell of a dude. Thanks for coming, Lee. And I hope you like my makeshift delay effect. And anyway, you can't talk. You're from Swansea, mate. Hiya, Kev. Hi, Daz. Sorry to be back and forth. That's all good, man. Why not create space on the front and put it there? I thought about that, but here's the problem I've got, right? When I pull, I'll turn it round a sec so I can show you, Kev. Oh, it's like the generation game here. No, not the generation game. A bullseye. Here's what you could have won. So I would put it on the front. However, I got a rack drawer here, Kev. If I pull it out, that unit there is going to stop me from being able to pull them out because of the knobs and the pedals. Which is why I've just got a half unit vent there, because I didn't like the look of the dead space. So that's why I've got that unit there, that half unit there, and I can't put this on the front. But I did think about it. You know, I could have put it on the top and brought the power unit down. That would have made perfect sense. But it just wasn't, it's just not feasible if I want to be able to access the drawer at any point. So yeah, that's why I haven't, that's why I didn't put it at the front. So I'm just going to make use of all the space I've got at the back of it. So for anyone who's just joined, in which I think that's Mr. Lee Fuge, Mr. Kevin Lewis, bass player extraordinaire, local legend, as it were. Yeah, so here's where I'm at. These are all the parts that I've got for the Patchbay. I've started on this side, and I'm going across, just trying to work out where the logical place would be for everything. I've decided I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to have a jack there for my wireless failsafe and in-ear monitors. This is the Ethernet cable for my Helix control. This is the USB cable that I use to connect my Helix up to everything in the studio. And then I've got 3 XLRs here for my outputs. So that would be my microphone, my I've done a boo-boo. I think I've done a boo-boo. We'll come to that in a minute. Shit. I've done a boo-boo. Not a massive boo-boo. I think it's kind of like an accidental boo-boo. I've ordered 3 of these, but I've only got 2 XLR outs that I need. However, this is what I will call a happy accident. No innuendos, please. No, I didn't forget to add the Helix. So let me go to my notes a second, right? Because when I was mapping out this build, right, I made notes, right? Old school, see? So I've got my Helix outs, XLR. I did as well. So I said that I was only going to use one XLR from the Helix out to use it in mono, But when I drew up the plans for this to see if I could make it work, I done 2 XLRs, so I can actually do it in stereo if I wanted. There we are. Happy accident. So it's not that I forgot to add the Helix, Lee. I added one too many in for the Helix. But it's going to work. Happy accident. Has everyone subscribed to Lee yet? No? Do it. Kev, you do it as well. Pete, you do it. Everyone do it. And then Lee can give me a free plug when he starts doing his live streams. Get me to that 1K, son. Yeah, well, I can't do stereo in the band in mint condition. Well, I mean, I could. But no, complicated. Well, no, it's not complicated. But me and Callum both run in mono. There you are, Lee. Got an extra subscriber, matey. Thank you, Pete. But yeah, I mean, I could go stereo, but it'll just overcomplicate things when we're setting up and doing live sound and stuff. Because we don't have a sound man, we are our own sound people. I wouldn't want to trust anyone else, you know, doing the sound for a stereo mix. You know, I wouldn't trust that. I mean, our mixing desk has got the capability for it. And we can all control our own in-ear mixes. But like I said, because we are our own sound engineers when we're gigging, I wouldn't want to trust, no disrespect intended to the guys in my band, but I wouldn't trust anyone else to set up a stereo feed to a front of house and then mix it. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be nice to have the stereo option for when I'm in the studio. I've got a couple of stereo effects here, actually, for demo that it'll be good to run in stereo. But the only thing is then I've got to be careful because my interface has only got 2 inputs. So recording the voiceover as I'm doing it might get a bit complicated. But I could work it. I've got a pretty decent USB condenser mic that I can put into a USB instead of an XLR via the interface. So yeah, I could do it. But, you know, let's build it first and see where I can go with it. Nicely done, Mr. Harris. So yeah, I've been going for an hour and 28 minutes. And in terms of building this piece of little rack thing, I've done 3 pieces. Procrastinating much? Cool. So there's the USB installed. Brilliant. Fantastic. Love it. There it'll be. So next, what would make sense? I think the 2 main outputs will go there. Actually, no. Let's think about it logically for a second. No. Microphone. Microphone will go there. Because the cable is long enough to just fit into there. So, it's my XLR. Now, here's one for the musos. Here's one for the musos, right? Lee, here's one for you. If the rack is like that, right? Should I put the XLR single pin up, single pin down? What do you think? I know the answer because it's right in front of me. Kev Lewis. Yeah, I know. I know it's Kev Lewis. Single pin down, yeah. exactly the same as it is in there. It's just a test, you know. Realistically speaking, it doesn't matter when you're doing this, but it'll be nice to keep everything uniform because everything in there is single pin down. I know. You know me, mate. I just do stuff, you know. 99 times out of 100, it works. Or alternate between up and down. I got 3 of them. It'll make a nice little pretty pattern, but because of my OCD, if I haven't got 5 of them, then I ain't doing it. No, they won't go sideways. For the simple reason being, there's 2 holes. They'll either go that way or that way because of the holes. But yeah, for live use, this is mainly for, like, in the studio when I'm in the house and I'm recording demo tracks or I'm doing anything for YouTube. You know, this sort of thing doesn't matter. Yeah, they might do if I want them to, but I haven't got a drill handy. I'll hear nothing from you, Mr. Bridgeland, in terms of not having a drill handy for all of this. But this is more for live purposes than it is for in the studio, for the simple reason being, I just wanted something that's going to be easier, you know, to cable up. Because as I was saying earlier on, when we get back again, this part is going to be against a wall. You know, I don't want to have to get down on my knees with a torch or get a USB light. I just want to be able to go bup, bup, done. So not only will it allow for a quicker setup, it'll allow for a quicker pack down. And then I can go and get my McDonald's on the way back from a gig a lot quicker. Oh, Lee, I haven't told you. You're on my wall, mate. You are on my wall. Shall we know? It's a funny story. I did a dep gig for a band a while back, and it was for a wedding, and we called ourselves, what was it, Alfonso and the Wordsmiths. So if you know any local bands of a similar name, you get where we're going with it. But we done a gig in, I don't know, was it Octave Bay? I think it was Octave Bay we done it, was it? Yeah, it was. It says on the photo, Octave Bay. And it was a good night. But yeah, that's on my wall, mate. That's on my wall wedding photo booth hijacks. Oh, that was a cracking night. I really enjoyed that gig. It was a lot of fun. Kayo didn't. That's right, yeah. Well, no, Kayo enjoyed. But I think it was the quick setup on the electric kit more than anything, which I could see was amazing. But do you know what? I really, really enjoyed. I think my favourite part of the night was seeing Ben the singer just run out, start a circle of dancing, him get in and just jump down and do the splits in the middle of a song and jump straight back up. I mean, he hasn't got far to go down, but that was good. That was fun. But yeah, Oxwich Bay, that was good. Yeah, electric kit. We had to, because they were funny about the noise levels, which is silly because it is literally out in the sticks. Oxwich Bay is a venue that is literally out in the sticks. I think the nearest house is like 300 meters, 400 meters away from the hotel itself. Not even the marquee where the wedding was. Yeah, I drove their van up to that gig. That was fun. And I learned the songs in the van on the way up. Just listening to the backing tracks that Ben had with them when we were driving up. In case everyone else is wondering, I've done a gig or two with Mr. Lee Fouch, myself on bass. Well, the other gig I think was in a furnace, the theatre in Llanelli that we did for Cadno Music Live. where it was myself and my originals pop punk band in our last gig, and when he was with Forever Vendetta. Great band, Forever Vendetta. Great band. Really enjoyed that. So I'm almost there with this one. Just got to hold it tight. Hope I don't... Oh, I've ballsed it up, have I? He's ballsed it up. Look at that. Falling at the first hurdle there. See, I told you, fat fingers. I cut myself doing this earlier on. That's how fat my fingers are. I sliced my finger on a 19-inch 1U rack unit. If anyone's interested, whoever's on board at the minute, in plugins for guitar, then Mr. Fuge has just done a cracking demo of the new, was it IK Multimedia? No, it wasn't IK Multimedia. I should know this. I was watching it. Watched it about half hour after you posted it. But it's really good plugin, well worth looking at for all your guitar stuff. I'm determined to find out if it'll bass mind. We shall see. Time will tell. See if I can get hold of it. Tell you one of the other things. That's it. Yeah, Native Instruments Guitar Rig 6. Well worth the watch. I've actually got some interesting stuff coming up on those lines, actually. Not plugins per se, but I've got... That's right. Yeah, you did the Amplitude a while back. I remember that as well. That's where I was getting confused. I watch all your videos, mate. I watch every single one of them. I'm usually the guy that leaves a comment, annoying comment, but does it bass when that does happen. We just got to know. We got to know. 2 beers down. But yeah, really good. But I've got a demo coming up of some dark glass impulse responses for the cabs. Really looking forward to doing that one. And I promised someone that I would do some of their Line 6 Helix presets as well for bass. I'm going to be doing that over the next couple of weeks. The next Electro Harmonics pedal that I'm going to be demoing is this. So if you can see it, the Electro Harmonics Eddie. This is, you can't even see my face. This pedal, the Electro Harmonics Eddie, is so much fun. It's absolutely fantastic. It's vibrato on chorus. How much space will you have when you put the jacks in as well? What, in terms of depth? Well, it doesn't matter because the top line, the top layer here, there's nothing there. It stops after the power conditioner. So that doesn't really matter. And in terms of the cables that I'm going to be using for the jacks themselves, I tend to build my own cables. So I can cut them to size, and I've lost the one cable I had here as a test, actually. So yeah, I tend to build them to size. There it is. So if you have a look at that, it's just got an old label on it because it's one of my old ones. But it's really low profile, as you can see. So, you know, I can cut them to length. It's not going to take up much space. So if you're talking about sort of in the jack plug but there, it's going to be that much. So it's, you know, bring it up to the camera a bit. It's going to be that much. Not a problem at all. In terms of the... oh, hang on. It's locked in. It's locked. I bought nitric stuff. In terms of the XLRs, again, not going to be a problem. I'm probably going to end up soldering the XLRs myself because I need them to be specific sizes. So when the unit is in there, like so, there's plenty of room in the back to have the connector, to have the connector there come out, but the pain in the backside is going to be routing it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it all down here, making sure there's enough slack. So if I want to pull the drawer out, it takes some of the cable with it, but it's still loose, just to keep everything nice and tidy, and then it can just all go down there. So I pin it down, actually on the bottom as well. So when it gets to a certain point, you know, it'll be like this. So if you have, I don't know if you can see here with those cables there, what I'm actually planning on doing is, if you look at these cables here, which are coming from the loops on my pedal board, right? If I pull it out, I've done it so that they're not tight up to it. They're still good. You know, there's still a little bit of slack there, but there's enough space, there's enough length on the cable that I can just go, you know, in, out, without anything being affected too much. So that's what I'm going to end up doing with the XLRs on top as well. I'll pin them down on this drawer, and I'll have them do, you know, roughly the same thing in terms of, you know, the way that the cables are not pulling. There's slack there. There's plenty of slack there, so they're not pulling. The connections aren't being affected. I don't pull the drawer out an awful lot anyway. I mainly pull the drawer out for the Digitech drop when I use it, but I'm going to be getting rid of the Digitech drop. I'm going to be going to a HX Stomp because, one, I can have a little bit more DSP coming from the Line 6 Helix, and two, I will be able to control all the pitch shifting via MIDI. So I'm going to have different patches or different presets for different tunings. And then I can just press one button, boom, and it'll automatically change the pitch of my instrument, guitar or bass. You know, I go on my 4-string bass, which I haven't got with me here now. I'd be able to go down to drop B on that if I wanted to, at the touch of a button. You know what I mean? So 1 minute I could be playing Stevie Wonder, playing in the house. All I got to do is switch to a particular patch on my Line 6 Helix, and then all of a sudden I'm in drop B. Who's going to argue with that? But that's my plan. I literally want to make this as all-in-one, does everything as possible. And so far it's done all that. You know, the rack isn't, I say the rack isn't finished. I wasn't intending on doing this until I started cabling the Helix up and stuff, and I thought, shit, we're going to have problems here when we're playing live, because I'm going to have to get a torch out, have a look at all the labeled stuff, and I don't want to do that. I want to just be able to go boop, 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 done, which is why I'm building this. So yeah, I probably went a bit off the rails there, Kev, but you get the idea. So space for the jacks will not be a problem, to answer your question. Cool, fantastic. So this one is in, nice and secure, and that one, if I remember correctly, is going to be my in-ear monitor cable. Sorry, my wireless microphone cable, sorry. So logically now, next up, I think, let's have a look how I'm looking here in terms of the space. Next up, I'm going to install the blank. So as I was saying earlier on, some of you guys weren't here. I do not want to see a hole there. I want everything to be filled in, covered, just because my OCD will go absolutely nuts otherwise. So I have got a blank. It is literally a blank, just to go over that, to cover it up. That is it. No other reason. That's the only, I've got it just so it's not, there's no hole there, and my OCD can be okay. I won't have too much of an OCD. But yeah, I mean, the other good thing is as well, if I did want to add anything else, such as go stereo with my in-ear monitors, which I have the ability to do, but I just don't do. I keep everything in mono, again, for the simplicity of it. You know, I'm trying, even though this is a complicated rig in theory, I've built it to try and keep things as simple as possible when I'm gigging. You know, I've got it all in one place. I don't have to wire up all my in-ears separately. I don't have to run cables to the front of the stage to have my pedals next to my controller on my Line 6 Helix. It's all there. Everything is there. I rock up to a gig, wheels, handle, pull it in, plonk it down, take a back off, plug the cables in, done. You know, that's the whole point of it. And it looks cool as shit. There is that as well. But most of the time, most of the gigs I'm going to do, you're not actually going to see the rack. The rack is going to be in, you know, behind our band banner, as is the wireless desk that we've got, the wireless mixer. We've got one of the RCF, I forget the model name, but it's one of the RCF wireless mixers with the Wi-Fi. You can control it from your phone or tablet, and it's great. We haven't had any problems with it. I haven't even done the software update on it because I haven't needed to. It's worked brilliantly. But yeah, if you're in the market for a mixer, you know, maybe check the RCF out. It's along the same lines as the sort of the Behringer X13s and X32s, but everything's at the back of it rather than at the front, so it looks a little bit tidier. Again, it just looks tidier on stage, you know. Yeah, I'm babbling now, aren't I? But I hope that answered your question, Kev. I didn't go on too much, buddy. Like I said, I mean, I've been doing this for nearly 2 hours now, and I've got nowhere because I'm a serial babbler. That's why if you watch my YouTube videos, right, when I'm writing the scripts and everything I'm saying for the videos, there's so much useless information in there. So when I'm saying it, a lot of the time I'm cutting so much out because it's just shit. It's stuff that doesn't need to be said, pointless stuff. So I just don't do it. I just cut it out. So that's why there's a couple of cuts in my videos. So I need to get better at that. But I'm a babbler. That's what I do. Never mind. Never mind. I'm really, really chuffed with how this is going so far. I mean, I haven't even... I'm not going to... Just so you know, I'm not going to wire it up today. The simple reason being, I'm still missing a piece. As I said at the start of the video, I've got the jack to jack one there. I only ordered one, but I need two. So I'm not going to wire it up, put it in, only to tomorrow take it out again to plug a cable in and put it back in. I'd rather have it all there so I can measure all the cables out that I'm cutting for it, and I'm making the cables from scratch, measure them all out, pin them down where I need to with cable ties and those little plastic things. I don't even know what they're called, but they get everywhere. There's a bane of my bloody existence in the studio, I'm telling you. They're everywhere, and the moment I want to show you one, I can't find them. Just trust me, they're there. Those little black or white square things you stick down, and you can loop a a cable tie through it. But yeah, so I'm not going to wire it up today. This is more of the build aspect of it, as well as literally just twatting about. And if you're not from Wales, I know we've got one of my friends here from Argentina. Twatting about means pissing about, messing about, dicking about, arsing about. Looks normal to me, mate. I've forgotten what that's in reference to. Tell me, Kev. Sorry, mate. I've forgotten what that's in reference to. Me babbling. Cool. But I tell you what we will do today. Apart from me grabbing another brewski, full disclosure, any of the donations to my Buy Me a Coffee account don't buy beer. They actually buy coffee. The last tip I had on my Buy Me a Coffee account was from Leighton in the music shop in Leith. And I actually went shopping the day after that. And I think the coffee's called Lux. It was in Aldi. I've invented my own delay. I did, yeah. And it was £2.50 each, or £2 for £3, I think it was. They were on sale. Oh no, it was £2 for £5, and they were normally like £3 something each. So I bought two of them. So I put £2 away. So, but I do buy coffee out of my donations. I should be saving them to buy my bass back, because to buy the computer to do the whole YouTube thing, I unfortunately had to get rid of a bass, which was actually, my first proper bass that I bought, 7 or 8 years ago. I'll have it back though. I will have it back. My might take a little bit longer than I hoped because my circumstances have just changed. But let's not go there. But I will get it back, and it will be on the channel, and I'm going to give it some loving, because at the moment I'm doing everything with my my Fender Elite Jazz 5. Do you know what? Actually, before I go any further into this, I want to tell you a couple of things about this bass, right? Like, I know there's only 6 people on here, but like I said, this is more therapy for me. It's more document for me, right? So this bass, I've had it for 4 years and a couple of days, and I'll never forget, ever. I'll never, ever, as long as I live, forget the day that I received this bass. So it was 2017, and I think towards the start of 2017, I went to Cadno Music in Llanelli, and I said to Al from Cadno, I said, Al, I've seen a bass. It's a bit expensive, but I want it. I need it. He's like, oh, what is it? I said, well, do you know that 4-string natural one that I had off you last year? He said, yeah. Well, I want the 5-string version. And he laughed. So he said, right, okay, but the 4-string version was a Mexican. And I think that cost about £800. Oh, no, it was £999 I had for brand new at the time, right? That's how much it was everywhere. And then about a year or two later, I saw this. They brought out the Elite series. I think it was taken over from the Deluxe series. So I ordered it. Took a while to come. I think it took about 6 to 8 weeks to come to the UK, and I think it was February the 26th, I believe, that I received it. Now, why? Let me just double check that date. This is the sort of thing I should probably know, but my brain is not very, very good with dates. So 4 days ago today, that would have been 28th, or maybe the 27th. But anyway, so about the 27th or 28th of February 2017, and at the time, my great grandmother was in hospital. She wasn't very well. She was in her 90s, and I lived with her, and I currently live in that house now. I live in this house now, even though my great grandmother and my grandfather have passed. But as my great grandmother was in hospital, literally on her deathbed, my mum and my dad said, "Look, we'll let you know if anything changes. Go about your day as normal. Daz, you go and pick up that bass," because it arrived in Cadno Music on that day. Al had sent me a photo of it, and he said it's arrived. I said, "Rob, brilliant. I can't pick it up today. I'll come and get it another time." But I thought, you know what, I need to give myself a bit of a boost. So after we left the hospital, after my mum and dad said, "Just go about your day, do whatever you were going to do as normal. Darren, go pick up your new bass. We'll let you know if anything changes." So I drove from the hospital to the music shop, to Cadno Music in Llanelli, and I knocked on the door because it was locked at the time, because I think Al had just finished the music school. And I went in and I said, "Oh, let me grab the bass then, if that's all right." He's like, "Yeah, no sweat." So I started playing it there, and after about 30 seconds of playing this bass, I had a phone call off my mum. I was like, "You right, Mum? What's happening?" She said, "Darren, everyone, the doctors have said get the family to the hospital, and it's time. It's time for your great grandmother." So I just handed the bass back to Al, and I said, "Mate, I've got to shoot. I've got to go." And I got about 30 seconds. I was in the car for 30 seconds before my mum ran me back and said that my great grandmother had passed away. So that's why this bass means so much to me. I go through gear like no one's business. Pedals, guitars, basses. Anyone who knows me on the live stream now and follows me on Facebook, Instagram, blah, 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 you know how much gear I go through. I buy it, sell it, trade it. This ain't going anywhere, because this is the bass that I picked up on the day that my best friend in the entire world passed away. And that's why I use it more than anything. Because not only is it an absolutely fantastic bass, I've got that attachment with it because of that. And yeah, it's a fucking beautiful, beautiful bass. There is nothing it cannot do. 5-string, 2000. It was a late 2016, I think it is. Yeah, late 2016 Fender Elite Jazz Bass 5, and I use this for 99% of my bass work. At the minute, 100, but 99% of my bass work. 18-volt active preamp, bass middle, treble. And it's got a volume blend control between the pickups. When it's in passive mode, it's still a volume blend control, but this becomes a tone control. So, man, you can get anything out of it. I mean, I spend a lot of time either in the middle of both pickups, or I just go straight to the neck pickup, because it's stunning. It ain't going nowhere. So yeah, and that's why most of the time you see me play this bass on the channel, in gigs, any photos of me in gigs. It's mostly this. Some of them might be my old Music Man Stingray, the 5-string, the white one, but I haven't got that anymore. It's this. I also had a Marcus Miller P7. which I miss dearly, but unfortunately, finances hit hard at a certain point, and I just had to get rid of it. I had to let it go. You know, it was either that. I had to have a good bass. That's it. That jazz bass ain't going anywhere. So yeah, that's enough of me pouring my heart about the sentimentality of my main instrument. I've also got, speaking of, it is a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. So it's a good interface. It does the job. But the other reason that bass is so important to me is because obviously, like I said, it was the day that my best friend died, my great grandmother. Never got over it ever. I'm still suffering about it now. But this acoustic guitar here, it's a piece of shit, right? There's frets missing. This guitar is 24 years old on the 12th of May this year. And the reason I know that is because on my 8th birthday, my great grandmother took me to the music shop in my hometown, which was at the time called Falcon Music, and she bought this for me. And I learned on this. This was my learning instrument. And it, I got, after a time, I got better instruments. And this sort of, it took a back seat. It was a beginner instrument, so it took a back seat, but it literally sat in the attic for 15 years. But I'm hoping once I'm back again, and I'm starting to earn money again from playing, I can invest in restoring it. It was only £100 guitar when I bought it. No, when my grandmother bought it for me. It was £99. The brand is Ramon, Ramon. But I love it just because like I said, the sentimentality behind it. I can't play it. It's completely unplayable right now. It needs a ton of work. But I'm hoping to restore it. It's not worth restoring financially, but again, sentimental. I'm a really sentimental guy. So much to the point that the house I'm living in now, like I said, it was my grandmother's, my great grandmother's and my grandfather's house. I've still got like most of their ornaments and stuff around the house. Same place as they were when they were living here. I take them down, I clean them, but I won't get rid of them. They're not mine to get rid of, really. They're my dad's or my auntie's, but I live here. This is my home now. But yeah, I can't. Yeah. Kev, why are you retracting messages, matey? Don't retract messages. Speak your mind, son. I ain't sensitive. We know this. Like I said, the interface I've got is a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. It's either a first or a second gen. I don't know. I bought it in a pinch. It was the sort of thing like I wasn't necessarily looking at an interface because I was using the Helix as the interface. It's got the ins and outs that I need, but I wanted something desktop, and that lives in the rack. And I can't play with like the sort of the presets that I do, which are jammed. My presets are ram-packed. So I wouldn't be able to put like a microphone into it as well and have a mic line coming out and my preset as I'm demoing stuff. So I had to sort of have a look at that. So, but to get another interface that I could do both with. But I wasn't actively looking for one. I just saw it on Facebook Marketplace pre-owned. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go and grab it. And it came with the headphones and the microphone. The microphone is what you're hearing now. If you've seen any of my all the bass covers, so there's Don Henley / the Atari's Boys of Summer. That the vocal on that was recorded with my USB mic. I can't remember the name of the brand. I think it's something like, hang on, Majority. It's a Majority USB condenser. It's brilliant for the price. It wasn't expensive. Amazon jobby it was. Just again, something just in a pinch. I bought it in a pinch just so I could sort of start doing stuff. It sounds fine. I've done the vocals now, but the vocals on the Newfound Glory song that I did, that cover, My Friends Over You, that was with the Focusrite microphone that I've got, and nothing wrong with it. Sounds fine, works fine. I would like to invest in better microphones, but for what I'm doing right now, I don't need anything more than I've got. In terms of like YouTube voiceovers and the narration and stuff I do on the videos, or even for this, I'm not really vocal heavy in what I record. It's more bass and guitars. So this mic does me fine for now. I don't mic up any cabs. I use the Line 6 Helix for all that. So again, I don't need a lot in terms of all that. I've got what I need, and I'm making do with it. I'd rather have another bass or another guitar, just for different sounds as I'm playing, as I'm demoing, different pedals which I demo, than a microphone that I pretty much use purely just to voice over and narrate my videos. Yeah. See, I told you I babble. 2 hours and 7 minutes in, and I'm still babbling. What else have we got? Someone hit me with something. Ask me anything. Peter asked me earlier on if I'd prefer to have spaghetti hair or crisp feet. You can probably look back up at the comments to see what my answer was or what he said, but my answer was spaghetti hair because I have no hair. Well, I got a bit, it's all right. But seriously, anyone who's here, got 8 people in at the minute, ask me anything. Genuine. What brand of toilet paper do I use? What my favourite flavour cup of soup is? Before anyone asks, chicken noodle. Cool. So, the final piece is that one. For now, obviously until tomorrow, until I get another one of those bad boys. But I'd say it's looking quite cool. But it doesn't matter how it looks, it's functional. There's a solid reason that I'm building it. Not for the sake of it. I might actually do the same thing for the band's rack out of my own pocket, just as a little project for myself. Just sort of build a 2U, one of these 2Us with all the ins and outs, because again, that is quite, there's a fair bit of depth between the back of the mixer where you put all the cables in, and the back of the rack. So it's worth thinking about. My band is called Mint Condition. We are a party-centric, multi-era cover band. So essentially we do a bit of everything. I do the odd bit of depth work. I don't do an awful lot. I'm so busy with the other band, obviously not right now due to COVID, but you know, I do the odd bit of dep work. I've done some guitar work for a couple of people. I've done bass work for people. But mint condition is the main project. Also starting a project called Midnight Lions with a couple of lads for HD events, and there's going to be indie rock based cover band for corporate functions and events. I'm looking forward to doing stuff with that. It's not a bit different for me in terms of what I've been doing for the last couple of years. I'm not doing anything original at the minute. My last original band was called Q the Bad Guy, pop punk band. I do miss doing it, but up until, you know, summer of 2019, I just didn't have the time for it anymore, unfortunately. But that may change. We don't know. I don't know. We see how I am with time and everything when gigs and stuff start back, because that's been the biggest thing, and that really, in terms of mental health as well, man, that knocked me for 6. Is the knock again? Not necessarily for the financial aspect of it. You know, it's nice to get paid for doing what you love and whatnot. Like I said, I am lucky in the sense that I also have a full-time day job, but it's more a case of I miss it. I really, really do miss it. And that's why I started the YouTube channel as well, because, you know, I tried the whole live streaming thing, like live streaming acoustic stuff, but the acoustic stuff, you know, for me these days is more of a hobby and just do it for the enjoyment rather than an actual performing aspect. And at the time, my internet was, for the lack of a better word, shit. It was awful. You know, my uploads and download speeds were crap, and I couldn't throw together a decent live stream. The sound was awful because of it, and I wouldn't until I'm sure that the internet will be good enough for it. Then I'm not going to do it again, because I need a decent audio stream. Would you fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Ooh, that's a good one. Well, okay. Let me give you a question on that one then, before I make my answer. How aggressive is the duck? Like, what sort of duck is it? Is it a happy duck? Is it like Will Quack Quack? If you're from Wales, you'll know who I'm on about. Or is it just like a psycho duck? Tell me. We're almost there. I will put it in the rack today, but I won't wire it up. Purely because, like I said, I'm missing a piece. And yes, pain in the ass when you're missing a piece. But, you know, it did get a bit of a, like I said, a happy accident out of the fact that I ordered one too many of one of the pieces. Meaning I can go stereo if I wanted to. Nudge, nudge. But we'll see about that. Always guy. Anything into what's the point? You know? But, you know, I can go stereo if I do so wish now. You know, I have... Oh, shit. Table nearly went. I have that option if I want to. I might experiment with it a little bit. Peter, you still haven't told me how aggressive is the duck. Peter doesn't answer, someone else can answer for him. Two hours and 15 minutes. Oh. Do you know what? You lot could have watched Avengers by now. Some other long film. You go for horses. Yeah, but you'd go for horses, but what I want to know is how aggressive is the duck? That's what I want to know. Because, I mean, I could chuck it some bread and it'll leave me alone. But I don't know what I could do with 100 horses that are duck-sized. Cool. Just a duck in a pond. Yeah, I'll go for the duck in the pond. Right, so here is the mostly finished product. Now, like I said, missing one piece there. It's got to go there. So I'll have jack. So I'll have, lost myself. Jack for my in-ear monitors. Jack for my wireless unit Failsafe. Cat 5 cable for my Line 6 Helix controller. Output left and output right from the Line 6 Helix. So basically, left mono, left right stereo. Blank, because I didn't want it to be nothing there. Microphone will go on this one. And the USB to make it easier to hook my Helix up to the computer when I want to edit patches, update it, or use it as an interface, or when I'm reamping stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still toying with maybe putting it down there. But I don't know. Either there. Or there. It makes more sense there if you ask me. But that's me. So I'll tell you what I will do now, though. Just for a bit of fun. I will screw it in. And we'll see how it looks. Just like a normal duck. The duck with a green head. Mate, I have no idea what that's in reference to. I don't know if I'm missing anything or not. Should I know? Is it something that I should know, but I don't? Am I being stupid? Is this real life? No, my hand won't fit. See, what I wanted to do is put my hand through the back of the rack and hold the screw in. But as we just saw, that didn't work, and I could not have anticipated that. How would I have known that was going to happen? Possibly because I didn't think ahead. I should remember from I should remember from the last time I did something along the lines of this that I should have probably done that. But live and learn. But I obviously didn't learn. That happens. What are you going to do about it? I think Peter's drunk, by the way. I know he's been on the rum. But there is anything wrong with that, Pete. I wish I was drunk right now as well, my friend. Yeah, this ain't happening. Tell you what I'll do. tell you what I'll do. Leave that there for 1 second. Do you know, I've got so much in terms of junk gear. It's not junk, they're just cables from my studio setup. It's not junk. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little bit of Daz ingenuity here. And I know this is pointless because it's all going to be, because I'm all going to take it away and you know, I'm going to be, you know, taking it out anyway at some point. But just for me to see. Oh shit! Oh shit! Everything's fallen. Everything's fine. Ah, see, look. Wheels. So, this is not a light rack. But it's not meant for, you know, it's not meant for lifting and shit. That's why it's got wheels. That's why I bought one with wheels. But I am a silly boy. We know. Don't worry about it. I'm not dead. Well, we are almost at the end of this lovely little live stream, of which has taken me 2 hours and 25 minutes to basically screw in 7 components into a rack strip. It's taken me that long just to do this. I know I've had some people on and off. It's been fun. I've enjoyed. Yeah, Pete, thanks for sticking on, my friend. I'll be hitting the hay myself shortly. As soon as I've screwed this bugger in, I'm going to call it a day. This is hard because I can't see. Do you know what? I am not going to bother screwing it in now. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. I'll just wait until tomorrow to do it. I'll do a little update video. No star, Pete. Thanks for sticking on, my friend. So, yeah. Not going to do that. What I will do, though, is I'm going to use my little label maker. And I am going to do my labels. I love this label maker. It's always done me good. Do you know what? I can probably make the text a little bit bigger than that. Let's have a look. Let's do a medium. See how that looks. You are IEM. I'll have to cut that a little bit, but it's all good. That's what I'll do. I'll put the IEM there, but the failsafe there. Actually, no. Oh, I don't know. What don't matter. And then you asked about the image being reversed or not. Bloody hell, Kev, how far behind are you? That was about an hour ago. Have you you've gone from the start, have you? It's going to take him an hour to hear that then if he's gone from the start. Oh, Kev, I love you, man. Okay. I call it the failsafe. So the whole having an extra cable coming out of it just to switch quickly in case my wireless goes down. What shall I call it on the label? I don't know. I don't know what I would call it. Anyone who's still tuned in, what would you call it? Should I just say cable? In? Failsafe? I don't know. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be... I'll wait until I get your thoughts on that one to see what I'll call it. I'll call that control because it's for my Helix control. So yeah, anyone has left. I know this has been a long one. What should I call my wireless unit failsafe input? So the extra jack that I've got, what shall I call it? So I'm going to do L on, I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to say L mono because it's going to be left mono, right for stereo. Keep Mr. Lee Fuge happy. And start doing stereo because he asked me nicely. No, that's not it. If you haven't got a Dymo label maker for any reason, it's worth it. 100% worth it for anything. Oh, the 2 people left. Yeah, we're getting to the 2.5 hour mark now. It is getting a little bit heavy. I understand that, guys, and I do apologize. You know, this was never going to be a super serious thing. You know, this will go on YouTube as well if anyone dares to sit through the 2.5 hours of this babble. Excuse me. But no, do you know what? It's been fun. You know, there hasn't been a lot of people on, but the people that have been on, I really, really appreciate it. You know, thank you for interacting with me this evening. Because otherwise I would have wallowed. Done nothing. I would have emptied the dishwasher. Ain't nobody got time for that. But instead, you know, we are here. We've done this. It's been good. It's been fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah. Thank you for keeping me company. For anyone who has. Thank you for all the questions I received. Anyone who's taken an interest in what I'm doing. If anyone would like any help or advice on anything, let me know. Not that I'm an authority on anything at all, but in terms of the pedal side of things, you know, I know what I know. In terms of building a rack, like I said, this is the first proper one I've built, but it's gone pretty bloody well. For serious gigging, I don't think I could go back to anything else now. I don't think I could go back to a normal pedal board. Like, I've been thinking I would get another HX Stomp for the rack, but maybe maybe one of the Stomp XLs for like open mics or random gigs. Because one of my previous boards was a HX Stomp and a Morningstar MC6 controller. Well, the Stomp XL takes care of that. It's probably a lot easier to do as well. Not that I've got any major issue doing the MIDI side of things. I had some nice help from a lovely gentleman called Alex Bourne about that. Love My USA Jazz Deluxe, made in 1997. Bought it in Seattle. Kev, are you on about when I was talking about my bass a while back? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my phone and give you a quick message in the chats. Where am I? Where are we, Kev? Let's get him a live stream. 2 watching. Can I press play a sec? Why can't I comment? Oh, I can't comment. Don't know why I can't comment. What I'll do is just type it in, Kev. The mouse is upside down. But thank you very much for sticking around and watching it, Kev. Again, like I said, this has been, you know, a bit of a therapy session for me as well. So no arguments there. I mean, do you know what? Even if, you know, this doesn't take off or anything, which I'm not expecting it to, I think I'll keep the live stream thing going. Because it'd be nice to look back on, or just do a little blog for myself, maybe. But it's been nice to sort of potentially share all this with everyone. Because, you know, I've had a couple of questions about the rack. You know, people have seen it in the videos. And anyone, you know, who's added me on my social medias have asked me questions about the rack. You know, one of the funnier comments was, "You need all that for bass." And I was like, yeah, of course I do. I want to be able to go from 1960s rock and roll to mid 2000s metal and new metal at the click of a switch. Could I do that with Stomp boxes? Yes. Would I have as much fun doing the stomp boxes? Possibly. Will I get more versatility out of the stomp boxes? No. No. Like, I'm not saying that I'm a die-hard Line 6 Helix fan. Well, sorry, yeah. I am a die-hard Line 6 Helix fan. But I like my pedals. And before I sold everything for the Helix, I had quite the collection. And I was looking back at photos of it the other day, and I quite miss it. One of my favourite pedals that I had at the time was a Mesa Boogie throttle box, which was essentially the overdrive section, which was essentially the overdrive section of, like, I think one of the rectifiers maybe, or the Mark V, something along the lines of, and I loved that. That and my Boss. I bought a Boss Waza Super Overdrive, and those two together were phenomenal. Absolutely out of this world in terms of drive sections. But at the time when I was building pedal boards and stuff like that. Kev, I'm miles off the timing as well myself, mate. I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. But yeah, in terms of like the overdrive sections, I think I had one of the newer Dan Electro things. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't the Billionaire Boost. I can't remember which one it was. But between that, the Super Overdrive, the Waza one from Boss, and the throttle box from Mesa Boogie, oh man, force to be reckoned with on guitar. Absolute force to be reckoned with on guitar. At the time, I wasn't using any overdrives on the bass. I just had a bass Nano Big Muff. Or a bass Nano Muff, sorry. That was fun. But sold everything to buy the Helix. So then I would be like, yeah, I won't have to buy anything else after this now. If I need a certain sound, it's in there. And in my defense, since I've gone Helix, I haven't actually had an awful lot of pedals. There's been more utility stuff more than anything, rather than effects pedals. Like, I was a big fan of the MXR M87 compressor. I had that with the Helix. Got rid of that for the Cardi 76. Didn't like the Cardi 76. Soaked it and bought another M87. But I was looking at maybe getting a stomp box compressor again for the rack. But it wouldn't be an M87. It would be a Benz by Fender, which is, in terms of a bass compressor, I think there's only about, when I was doing the demo video, I research all my videos to see if what else other people are doing and stuff, and how I can make it a little bit different. Not necessarily for now, in terms of people are going to watch it now, but if in, I don't know, a year's time, someone's looking at demos, what can I do a little bit different that, and then maybe they subscribe because they'll see that one demo that's different. So playing the long game with YouTube, it's not something that you can just all of a sudden get 1,000 subscribers. It takes time to build. And I know that not from only talking to other YouTubers, but experiencing it as someone who watches a lot of YouTube, you know, you see people go from nothing or a couple of thousand subscribers to tens or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And then people start looking through their back catalogue of videos, and then they get more subscribers. So, you know what I mean? I could do a video of the platform compressor by Electromonics now, and then in a year's time, someone can look at it and enjoy the content that wouldn't have found it otherwise, and then they may subscribe. So, playing the long game. Anyway, so this is going to be it for me, guys. I finished labeling the I finished labeling this. So I've got IEM control, left mono, right stereo, mic, and USB. You know, it's not the cleanest labeling I've ever done, but it is what it is, you know. But I'm still going to need a name for the Failsafe. Now, I know it's only Kev watching now, maybe one other person, but I will maybe put it to Facebook to ask what I can call it. I might just call it Failsafe. I know what it means, you know, and I'm the only one that does all my cabling. So, yeah. So thanks for sticking around, whoever did. You know, thanks for being with me tonight. Much, much, much appreciated. You would have no idea how much appreciated I am for everyone who's commented and who's tuned in. You know, it hasn't been an awful lot, but I've really, really enjoyed my first live stream experience. Hopefully it sounded okay. Hopefully the visuals have been fine. I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes because my back is killing me. And then I'm going to clean up this mess because I got to work in it tomorrow morning. So, yeah. In true Darren S. Music fashion, thanks for sticking around. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Donate to my Buy Me a Coffee account. And, yeah, I'll see you next time. Like I said, the next video I'm doing will be on the Eddie analog chorus and vibrato from Electro Harmonics. That'll be out this weekend. It's a lot of fun. Expect a lot of smiles. I'll be demoing this for bass, but I may do some guitar as well because I've decided to incorporate more guitar into what I do. Guitar is my first instrument, and I really, really enjoy playing guitar. I done a video for Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer" the other day, and I really enjoyed, you know, playing the guitar to it, just having a good time, you know. And thank you for all the responses on it as well. I've really, really appreciated all that. But yeah, for some reason the screws have come loose on this Eddie, and I don't know why. I barely picked it up. But anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Yeah, God, I know that's awful when I do the whole bye thing. Deep voice, sing high, no work. Bye. Oh dear. Your stream will stop immediately and will no longer be live. I know. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not doing anything there. I'm using the mouse. I'm trying to. It doesn't work very well on cardboard for some reason, this magic mouse business. Ta-da.